Conflict doesn't have to damage your marriage. In fact, if handled properly, it can bring you and your wife closer than ever. Hello fellas, Martin here from InstructAndGrow.com. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a disagreement with your wife and it felt like the argument was headed nowhere? I mean, words were being exchanged, but neither of you were really hearing the other person. It's frustrating, isn't it? Well, here's the thing. Conflict is natural and in some cases inevitable. Two people with their own thoughts, emotions, and perspectives are bound to clash. But there's good news. Conflict doesn't have to damage your marriage. In fact, if handled properly, it can bring you and your wife closer than ever.
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
In today's video, we'll explore biblical strategies to help you not only resolve conflicts, but turn them into opportunities for growth, deeper understanding, and a stronger relationship. Stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll have some practical and God-centered tools to help you turn disagreements into growth moments. So let's get started.
I love you.
I love you too. I've never been in love with anybody before either. It's great. I am glad. But the timing stinks. I gotta go.
One of the biggest reasons conflicts escalate is poor communication. Let me ask you, have you ever found yourself in the middle of an argument and suddenly it felt like you were hitting a brick wall?
You never finished anything in your entire...
You're both talking, but neither of you are really listening. Or worse, you might not even be communicating your true feelings. Then you start getting this foggy feeling, which is often the result of miscommunication or unspoken frustration. This is an indicator that you're allowing bitterness to build up inside. When conflict strikes, communication is key. And the Bible teaches us something really important here. Don't let anger fester. Ephesians 4 verse 26 tells us we're not to let the sun go down on our anger. Why? Because unresolved anger can turn into bitterness and resentment. Many couples let small frustrations build up, and before they know it, they're feeling resentment.
After I get home tonight,
Shut up! Get out of here!
we need to talk.
It's easier said than done, but addressing the issue before it grows can save you so much headache. Imagine if instead of letting days or weeks go by, you immediately took the time to calmly share how you felt. And remember, I'm sorry and I love you can be incredibly healing words when spoken sincerely.
I love you. You complete me.
Try it next time there's tension. I dare you to break the silence with compassion. And hey, you may be thinking it's easier to just let it go and not bring it up. But trust me, avoiding the conversation only prolongs the hurt. Take that step and talk about it. Of course, when you do talk about it, how you say the words makes all the difference. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to point fingers. How about using I statements? Let's say you feel hurt that your wife forgot something important to you. Instead of saying, "You never care about what I want," which automatically puts her on the defensive, try, "I feel unappreciated when this happens." Using I statements shifts the tone from blame to sharing your feelings. You're opening a door for understanding rather than putting up a wall of confrontation. I've found in my marriage that when my wife and I approach things this way, it leads to real conversations rather than arguments. It's a game changer in how you connect emotionally. Let's talk about how much timing matters. Have you ever tried to resolve an issue when you're both still upset? Does it go well? Not usually.
Okay. 5, 4. Any last words?
The new curtains are hideous.
Goodbye, John.
That's because you shouldn't try to solve a problem when emotions are high. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 15:1 that a soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Answer! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
If you're in the middle of an argument and emotions are running high, it's not only okay, but often advisable to take a break and pray.
It's the rapture, and I never knew true love.
I never used those pizza coupons.
Step back, breathe, and schedule a time to talk when you both are calm. This doesn't mean avoiding the conversation. It means creating space for a healthy dialogue when you can actually listen and respond with love.
Honey, do you honestly think I would check thousands of tiny little lights if I wasn't sure the extension cord was plugged in?
You used more than one cord, didn't you?
Maybe the kids have been fooling around with it. I'll check them back.
Early in my marriage, I struggled with this. My wife would get really upset about something. And in those heated moments, I'd feel myself getting overwhelmed. So I'd walk away to cool off.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here on this most joyous occasion to witness Princess Vespa, daughter of King Roland, going right past the altar, heading down the ramp and out the door.
But once we learned to come back together when we were both calm, we started resolving things instead of just arguing about them. Forgiveness is another huge piece of the puzzle. And it's more than just saying, I'm sorry. I can't emphasize this enough. Resolution isn't just about finding common ground. It's about forgiveness and truly letting go. The Bible tells us in Colossians 3:13 that we should forgive one another as Christ forgave us. When your wife admits she's hurt you, how do you respond? Do you hold on to the hurt or extend forgiveness? Offering forgiveness freely doesn't mean the pain magically disappears, but it does start the healing process in both of you. Sometimes we wait for the perfect apology or the right moment to forgive, but holding on to that hurt can create more damage. By offering forgiveness, even when it hurts, you're inviting God's grace into the situation. Well, this is a tough one. Have you ever been in an argument and suddenly you're talking about something that happened 2 years ago? We've all been there, and it happens more often than we'd like to admit. But 1 Corinthians 13:5 tells us that love keeps no record of wrongs. If we keep bringing up the past, how can we ever truly move forward? The past needs to be left where it belongs.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past. Yeah, but it still hurts. Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it.
Forgiveness is about letting go, not holding on to the past mistakes as leverage or ammunition in future conflicts. And don't forget the power of prayer. When you pray together after a disagreement, you're not just seeking resolution between you and your wife, you're inviting God to bring healing. Ask Him for wisdom, grace, patience, and healing as you work through your struggles. Prayer is a powerful unifying force in marriage. It's finally here. Time to talk about humility.
I was wrong, you were right. You're the best, I'm the worst. You're very good looking, I'm not attractive.
All right.
Pride can be the biggest barrier to resolving conflict. But when we humble ourselves, we open the door to true understanding. Though necessary, one of the hardest things to do is admit when you're wrong. But James 4:6 tells us that God opposes the proud and shows favor to the humble. Humility means acknowledging your mistakes and asking for forgiveness even when it hurts. When you say, "I was wrong, will you forgive me?" it disarms the tension in the situation and allows healing to begin. Listening is a skill that shows how much you care. Not just hearing the words, but really listening to understand. Ephesians 4:2 tells us to be patient and bear with one another in love. So when your wife speaks, give her your full attention. Don't interrupt or think about what you're going to say next. Just listen. This practice builds trust and shows that you value her perspective. Patience is key here, especially when emotions run high. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to win an argument, but at the end of the day, it's not about who's right. Philippians 2 reminds us to value others above ourselves. Focus on solving the problem together, not proving who's right. When you approach the conflict as a team, you're prioritizing unity over division. This approach will help strengthen your bond. Remember, you and your wife are on the same side. You're partners, not adversaries.
Drop him or I will drop you! Whoa, easy guys. We're on the same team here.
So there you have it. 3 ways to tackle conflict in your marriage through open communication, seeking forgiveness and reconciliation, and embracing humility and patience. I know these steps might seem simple, but trust me, they're powerful when put into practice. By following these biblical principles, you can turn moments of conflict into opportunities for growth and connection. Because conflict is inevitable, it's not about avoiding it. Rather, it's a chance to turn a potential negative situation into a growth opportunity. As a reminder, God is always with you. Ask Him to guide you toward reconciliation and peace, and He will help strengthen your marriage. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who might need it today. Head over to www.instructandgrow.com for more resources on how to build a stronger, faith-filled marriage. And hey, next time you face a disagreement, don't forget that God's grace is bigger than any conflict. I'm Martin, and until next time, let's keep building stronger, Christ-centered marriages together. God bless.